If you're a New Yorker who fell behind on your rent during the COVID-19 crisis, you may be eligible for financial assistance through New York State's Emergency Rental Assistance Program, or ERAP. ERAP was created to assist individuals and families who face possible eviction or housing instability due to economic hardship caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. When you apply for ERAP, you are protected from being evicted until your application is decided. If you are awarded ERAP money, you enjoy additional protection. ERAP is not a loan. If you are eligible and are awarded rent funds, you will not have to pay this money back. You can apply for this money no matter what your immigration status is. No one will ask about your status. Sound good? Let's get started. In this video, we will answer the following questions. What is ERAP? Who is eligible to receive ERAP money? How do you apply for ERAP? And who can help you if you are having trouble applying? But if you are ready to apply right now, you can go directly to the ERAP website at nysrenthealth.otda.ny.gov/en. The state of New York, through its agency, the Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance, or OTDA, received money from the federal government earlier this year to give to renters who qualify through its Emergency Rental Assistance Program, or ERAP. ERAP is only available to renters. ERAP cannot help paying overdue mortgage payments for homeowners. If you are eligible, ERAP can pay up to 12 months of back rent payments for rent that you owe on or after March 13th, 2020, due to economic hardship brought about by the COVID-19 crisis, up to 3 months of future rent, and up to 12 months of back payments for utilities for bills that you owe on or after March 13th, 2020. If your ERAP application is approved, payments will be made directly to your landlord or property owner and to the utility company on your behalf. You, your landlord or property manager, and your utility company will be notified of the amounts of ERAP money paid on your behalf. ERAP is not a loan. You will not be required to repay any of the money paid through ERAP. Applying for ERAP will protect you from being evicted until your application is decided. You will also receive additional protection if your application is approved. If you have been sued in housing court, filing an ERAP application means that you cannot be evicted for the months covering this period while the application is being decided. To be eligible for ERAP, all of the following must be true. You must rent your home. ERAP will not help pay overdue mortgage payments for homeowners. You must have a low enough income. As you can see, the income limit increases with the size of your household. For example, if you are a household of 2, your gross income cannot be more than $76,400 per year. If you are not sure if your income will qualify, it is still worth filing an application and getting a decision. You must owe rent at your current residence for the period on or after March 13th, 2020. And you must have a COVID-related economic hardship. You or a member of your household must have either had a reduction in household income on or after March 13th, 2020, or had receipt of unemployment benefits, or increased household expenses due to COVID-19. There is no requirement that someone in your household must have been sick with COVID-19 to be eligible for ERAP. You just have to have been economically affected by COVID-19. We will go over what types of economic impact qualify for assistance later in the video. For immigrants concerned about applying for ERAP, the most important thing to understand is that applying for this program does not bring any negative immigration consequences. You do not need a social security number to apply, and you will not be asked about your immigration status at any point during the application process. This means that undocumented individuals and mixed status families can apply. If you think you qualify for receiving ERAP funds, we recommend that you file your application as soon as possible. You are protected from eviction while your application is being processed, even if your landlord does not cooperate. The sooner your application is registered, the more likely you are to receive ERAP funds. The 2 steps to apply for ERAP funding are 1. Submit an application, and 2. Upload your documents. To submit an online ERAP application, go to nysrenthelp.otda.ny.gov/en. The application is available in many languages, including Spanish. We recommend using Google Chrome as your browser, as it seems to work best. If you do not have access to a computer, you can also apply over the phone by calling 844-691-7368 from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week. Before you begin, you should gather the following information, as you will need it to complete your ERAP application. You will need your name, your address, including county, state, and zip code, your date of birth, age, gender, your email address, telephone number, how much rent you paid, if any, and how much rent you owe from March 13th, 2020 forward to today, your landlord's name, address, phone number, and email address. If you do not have all of this information required to complete your application at this time, registering an ERAP account will allow you to save your incomplete applications and add information later. We urge you to register an account on ERAP's application website. Not only will it allow you to resume a saved application at a later point in time, but if you associate a completed application with it, you will be able to access information about the state of your application after it has been submitted. Once you have registered your profile, click Apply Here Now to start a new application. Fill out the form with your personal information and click Save to proceed. After you have completed the first page of the application, you will receive an application number. It is important that you write this down or print it out because you will need it if you call for help or need to prove that you applied for ERAP. You will also need it in order to resume editing an existing application. In the next part of the application, you will be asked, how were you or other household members financially impacted by COVID-19? You can choose reduction in household income, increased costs, or other. Reduction in household income can include reduced wages or earnings, reduced hours or loss of job, or receiving unemployment. Increased household expenses can include new or increased healthcare costs, expenses due to working from home during COVID-19, food, medicine, childcare, transportation expenses due to COVID-19, penalties, fees, and/or legal costs associated with rental or utility, at-home care for someone with COVID-19, remote learning expenses due to COVID-19, purchase of personal protective equipment, payments made by credit card or loans to avoid homelessness, extra transportation expenses like taxi or express bus fares because the subways and buses were not operating on a 24-hour schedule, or funeral expenses. If your situation does not fit into the list of examples under reduction in household income or increased costs, you can choose Other and write your explanation. Then, proceed to fill out the following sections of the application with your personal information. As part of the lease section of your application, you must identify your landlord or building owner and provide an email address for them. The landlord will need to create an account to process your application and issue money on your behalf. The landlord will receive an email from OTDA informing them that you have applied for ERAP rental relief funds and asking them to create a landlord account. This email notice to the landlord only has your name, address, and application number on it, nothing else. If you don't have your landlord's email address but have the landlord's telephone number, the landlord will be called about your application instead. You are protected from eviction while your application is being processed, even if your landlord does not cooperate. If you are found eligible for ERAP, you can use that determination as a defense in housing court if your landlord tries to evict you. And remember, your immigration status does not affect your rights as a tenant. Undocumented tenants are eligible for all the protections that come with ERAP. It is illegal for your landlord, including the super or broker, to discriminate against you because of your or a family member's immigration status. To report discrimination, call 311 and ask to connect with the New York City Commission on Human Rights. Once all of the sections of your application have been filled out, the last step is the applicant certification. This is a list of things that you must acknowledge you are aware of. You must also agree that you approve of OTDA's use of your information. Your application is not finished until you complete the certification page. If you realize there is a mistake in your application after you submit it, call OTDA's call center at 844-691-7368 from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week, and ask for assistance. Now that you have certified and submitted your application, you will need to upload a number of documents. If you have registered an account on the ERAP portal, you do not have to upload documents during the same session you complete the application and can upload them at a later time using your application number. The documents you will need include personal identification for the applicant. You do not need to verify information about other household members. The Social Security number of any household members who have been issued one. Remember that you do not need to have a lawful immigration status to qualify for the program, and you will not be asked for your immigration status. Proof of rental amount, proof of residency and occupancy, proof of income. Copy of gas or electric utility bill if applying for help paying for utility arrears at the same rental unit. Tenants without certain documents, such as tenants who have worked off the books, can self-certify. This means that you can provide a truthful statement about your loss of income instead of providing documentation, like pay stubs, if you do not have it. Once you've submitted your application and uploaded your documents, it will take about 4 to 6 weeks from the date your application is completed to receive a decision regarding your ERAP application. Remember that while the application is pending, you cannot be evicted for rent owed after March 13, 2020, and until a decision is made regarding your application. If there is information missing from your application or documents, you will receive a notice from OTDA asking you to provide it. You will have at least 7 days to respond. If you have not submitted the documents by the deadline, you will receive at least 2 more notices, each giving you 7 more days to respond. If your ERAP application is granted, an award letter will be provided to both you and your landlord telling you the amounts paid. Your utility company will also be notified if payments are made on your behalf. If your application is denied, it is possible to appeal your ERAP decision. You can appeal by calling 844-691-7368. For the hearing impaired, a TTY phone number is available by calling 833-843-8829. If you encounter difficulty submitting your ERAP application, there are resources available to assist you. If you have a disability and need help to apply, you can request a reasonable accommodation in order to get that help. Call OTDA, ask for a reasonable accommodation or disability help, And make note of when you called and what number you called from, in case you have a problem later. Additionally, there are NYC-based enroller organizations that can help you apply for ERAP. You should seek help from enrollers designated for your borough of residence first, but you can contact others if you cannot get service in your borough. You can check this website for the most up-to-date list of enrollers. Enrollers also provide language support in many languages, including Spanish. If you have already filed an application on your own, but now you need additional help with it, you can call one of the enroller organizations or call 311 and ask for free tenant legal assistance. If you are undocumented or from a mixed status family, please call 212-298-3490 for help with your ERAP application. Remember, simply applying for ERAP protects you from eviction. This means that even if your landlord told you that they will not cooperate with your ERAP application because they want to evict you, you can and should still apply if you owe rent for the period from March 13th, 2020 to present and you are affected economically by COVID-19. You are protected from eviction while your application is being processed, even if your landlord does not cooperate. If you are found eligible for ERAP, you can also use that determination as a defense in housing court if your landlord tries to evict you for not paying the rent that ERAP funds would have covered. For more information on the ERAP program, please visit nysrenthelp.otda.ny.gov/en. Thank you to our funders, Wells Fargo and Robinhood, for their generous support of the Legal Aid Society.